Hey you guys, welcome back to My Table 3. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys one of my latest recipes from mytable3.com. So if you haven't seen that, I'll put the links below for the full recipe. But I am going to show you how to do that today in my Instapot. This is a fairly easy soup, really quick to throw together. Really simple homemade broth and add everything in. I call it a drive-through soup recipe, but I do have some tips to make it even more drive-through soup friendly. So stick around and let's take care of that. We'll start off by showing you just the ingredients that I need. This is called creamy chicken and noodle soup. It is low carb, Trim Healthy Mama, and gluten-free. Yes, it has noodles, and it's all that too. So let's get started and we'll talk about the ingredients and then we'll go from there. Okay, first and foremost, to make the broth, you'll need about 3 pounds of chicken legs. Now, that's not a lot of meat because most of it in this weight is going to be your bones. So, for my family of 3, I use at least 3 pounds. If you have a larger family and you have a larger Instant Pot and want to double it, then by all means, use more chicken. Or, if you guys prefer less meat, then stick with the 3 pounds. But this will make a great stock. I just put these in my Instant Pot and cover them with water and go from there, which I'll show you later. Now, other than spices, there are basically about 6 different ingredients that go in this soup, not counting the water and the spices. If you count those, then there are 8 ingredients total. But, you know, most cookbooks and things, they don't count spices, so I don't either. So let's get with it. You saw the chicken. We'll cover that with water, so that's 2 ingredients. Then, for the filling of the soup, we're going to start with just this package of seasoning blend. I use Pick Sweet, but you could use any brand you can find. If I find the Walmart brand, I use it sometime, or the Kroger brand, whatever's on sale. Or you can cut it up out of your garden and freeze it. That way you have it year round. It's basically just, it's bell pepper, red onion, it's onion, celery, grainy red bell peppers, and parsley flakes. So real simple. And this is a 10-ounce bag straight from the frozen section. The next item I do is this is 10 ounces of sliced frozen mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you can leave them out. My son does not like mushrooms, but my husband and I do. So we still put them in there, and he just picks them out. So it's one of those things. He eats a really good. Eats a lot of vegetables. He's not a picky eater, but just the one thing that he has not learned to love are mushrooms, so I'm totally fine with him picking those up because he eats everything else really well. So after those 2 things, just 1 bag of frozen cut green beans, and this is a 12-ounce bag. I get these at Aldi. These are the steamer kind, but you could use any kind you want. You could even offer open cans if that's what you have. This soup is made to be simple and really easy. Okay, and so to make it creamy, you can use half and half. In the original recipe, and most of the time I use a cup of, oh sorry, my eye's twitching. I use a cup of heavy cream. It makes it really creamy. Now, it sounds like a lot because it's a heavy cream, and you can totally cut it back to a half a cup, but it stretches over the whole entire pot of soup, so it's really creamy, and it's really not that much since it's like 2 or 3 meals for us. So if you need a dairy-free version, you can use coconut milk, almond milk, anything like that you like, cashew milk, anything that would make it a little bit creamier, or you could just use it as chicken and noodle soup without any cream at all. So wouldn't be creamy chicken and noodle soup if we did not have noodles, and that's where I want to talk to you about the noodles. I hope you can see them and they're not backwards. It is the Trim Healthy Noodle is what this is called, and it is from a company called Trim Healthy Mama. If you guys are not familiar with it, it is a type of diet, sorry about the glare, that I try to follow, and it is sorry. It was bad. Anyway, these noodles are like those Japanese konjac noodles, so they are gluten-free, they're low carb, that's better like, and so they are 0 calorie, they have 2 carbs per serving, but they also have 2 fibers, so that's 0 net carbs. In this Trim Healthy Mama package, it is a 14-ounce package, and it has 2 servings, and 2 packages of one serving, so 2 1-package servings. I'm going to pull those out and show you those. It looks like this. and they are in liquid, squishy. So there are 2 of these in each bag of these. These come to a case. They're $18 at Trim Healthy Mama, which may sound pricey, but you get 4 bags, which are 8 packages, so 8 different servings. And let me just tell you, I'm going to tell you a little bit about these noodles. These are so much better than any other brand of the contact noodles that I have ever tried. They're not too chewy, they're not too tough, they do not have any distinct odor whatsoever. They do not. Story has it that Serene was pregnant when they were developing these. This second time, they have made these before, but they came back and did a rework on them and added some oat fiber, I think, and made them even better. So if you've tried them in the past and you haven't tried them lately, be sure and get some more. I think I'm going to be doing a giveaway pretty soon because I am this noodle's #1 fan. So we love pasta, but we try to avoid gluten, and so Dreamfields, although every once in a while I do give some to my son as a treat, we don't like to eat them a lot. We prefer these. And I've got several recipes that I have made with these noodles. I will put the link below to those recipes so you'll have those, and look for a recipe roundup using these soon. Anyway, you rinse them really good. Now here's the trick for this soup. I don't like to leave them whole. This soup calls for 2 packages of these. You could add more if you wanted, but I just use 2. And I chop them up really good so they're small pieces and easy to get on your spoon and easy to eat. So I'm going to show you how to do all this soup using these noodles. And again, I promise you, if you tried them in the past and did not like them, give them another whirl. They have reformulated them and they are so good and so worth it and good for you. So eat your pasta. No, don't worry about blood sugar spikes or high carbs. So let's get to the recipe now. And I was going to promise you some even more drive-through hacks for this recipe, and I'll show you that at the end of this video. I'm going to show you, I'm going to start off by putting the chicken, hopefully it'll focus, into my Instant Pot. Now I just have a 5-quart small Instant Pot. If you have a larger pot or a larger family, you'll need a larger Instant Pot, I'm guessing. Now I'm just going to cover this with water. Get this down in there. Nate, will you hand Mom the salt? I'm going to go ahead and cover this with just some, this is just filtered water I'm pouring in. This is what's going to make our broth for the soup. Again, I'll get some tips at the end for making this soup easier if you don't want to make your broth. Now, just for basics, I'm just going to add salt. Just to flavor the chicken. I'm not going to add anything else. You can use whatever seasonings you want in this soup. But I'm going to use garlic powder, onion powder, and salt today. So there's that, just covered with water. Make sure up to my fill line. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on. Or at least try to, one-handed. Make sure it's on seal. And then I'm going to go manual for, I think I'm going to do 15 minutes. And that should cook the, you know what, I'm going to go up to 18 minutes. I'm going to do 18 minutes. These are not frozen, they're thawed, so that's plenty of time. If they're frozen, I think my manual says do them for 20 minutes. But we're going to let this come to pressure, and we're going to let these cook, and then I'll come back and show you. It's ready. I'll come back and show you guys when they're done. Alright, so the chicken is done. I cooked it for 20 minutes, so I let it come to pressure. It cooked for 20 minutes. Then I let it naturally release for about 10 minutes, and then I let the rest of the pressure out with the quick release. And now I'm just going to put the chicken on this pan and let it cool before I take it off. You can see that the broth has a little bit of fat on the top. Now, if you wanted to skim that off, say if you're making a lighter version, an E or a FP, and if you hear that noise, my husband's mowing out for back, but you could let the broth cool a little bit, and you could remove some of that grease. I'm not going to do that this time, just because I'm in a hurry to do the video. In my recipe, I do suggest straining the broth, because sometimes when you make your own broth, they, oh, I dropped one into the sink. The puppy dogs don't like that. Anyway, when you make your own broth, there may be some remnants of the chicken or something like that. in the bottom. And if you have in company, you may want to strain your broth to make it better or clearer. But today I'm not going to do this just for I don't have time. So I'm going to show you how I make the rest. Go ahead and put the soup in there, and that way while my chicken is cooling, I can then, it looks really gross, but these are just the chicken legs. I'm going to take the bones off, the meat off the bone, and then I'll throw away the skins and the chicken. I'm sorry, the skins and the bone, and then just put the chicken back in here. But let me grab the vegetables, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in all those vegetables I talked about earlier. First, we're going to do the 10 ounces of the seasoning blend, which was green pepper, red pepper, parsley, onions, and celery. Then 1 10-ounce bag of frozen mushrooms. And then 12-ounce steamable cut green beans, or whatever kind of frozen green beans you have. And this is our vegetables for our soup. Now these are flash frozen, so these are all things that will not take long to cook at all. So the main thing is here, we are going to just let this warm while our chicken is cooking, and then I'll just drop that back in there. For the meantime, I'm going to season it. I'm going to add just about 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Then I'm going to add, which I don't have it ready, but I'm going to add a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of garlic powder into here. Then I'm going to put my lid back on, and I'm just going to put it on saute, and I'm going to cook it for 30 minutes. Just let it saute on the 30 minutes, which I'm going to go ahead and set it now. So let's see. Hit cancel. Saute, I'm going to hit it on 30. And then I'm going to put my lid back on it. First, I'm going to do the garlic powder and onion powder. Then I'm going to let this cook while my chicken cools. And when I come back, I'm going to show you how to put the chicken back in and the noodles. So we'll be back when that's ready to go. So the soup has been warming. All the vegetables, the green bean. Of course, it's getting dark in here, guys, and the lighting's horrible, so I do apologize. And so we have all that. So the next thing we're going to add is we have our chicken that I've taken off the bone. Just going to add that back in. We're going to go ahead and stir that in. And the last thing we're going to do is add in our cup of cream. Now, I don't have any heavy whipping cream like I usually use, but this is half an organic, half and half. You can totally, like I said, you could use coconut milk or almond milk, anything that you can use. If you can't use dairy, we do use some organic dairy. So since I don't have any of the organic whipping cream, we're just using half and half. So that's what it looks like so far, creamy. And the only thing that is lacking in here are the noodles. So I'm going to show you how I do those Trim Healthy Mama noodles. And again, just in case you forgot which ones I mentioned earlier, it is this Trim Healthy Mama low carb gluten-free noodles. There are 2 packs in here, and I've got 2 packs over there draining, and I'm going to show you how I cut those up here and put them in the soup. The only thing they need to do is just warm through. So we're going to add the noodles and let them warm up, and then we're going to serve it. So let me show you how I do the noodles. 2 packages of those Trim Healthy Mama noodles. I'm going to show you, they are, and I have clean hands, but I was going to show you how they come. They're kind of tangled up and stuff like that. So if you wanted to use them for like spaghetti pasta or Alfredo or things like that, that's fine. But in the soups, I'm going to put them on a clean cutting board. You could use like a plastic cutting board. I just like the texture of them better in soups when I cut them up. So I just take a sharp knife and I just go across like this. This way you can get your noodles on your spoon without them falling everywhere or having to like slurp. And it's totally optional. You don't have to cut them if you don't want to. I just think it's easier for the kids to eat. And honestly, I like the texture of them in soup better. Now, these noodles will not get tougher as they sit in your soup in your refrigerator. They work out just great. So that's how I like to do that. And the next thing I'm going to do is just add those to my soup. And be careful because it's getting pretty full. Okay, got all all those in there. And of course, we don't have to bring this soup to pressure anymore, so it's okay if it's really full. We're going to eat some for dinner and then put the rest in for leftovers for tomorrow night's dinner. So there it is, guys. Let me show you what it looks like close. And that is my creamy chicken and noodle soup. So I'm just going to put the lid back on it and let this heat up for about 5 or 10 minutes or till we get ready to eat. And then I'm going to serve it up and we're going to enjoy dinner. I'll put a picture at the end to show you what a bowl looks like. And I hope you guys, yeah, just so warm. Hope you guys enjoy it. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that recipe. I hope you try it soon. If you've already tried it or if you plan to try it, leave me a comment below and tell me what you think your family would like in your soup, if you'd follow the same recipe or if you'd substitute any of those vegetables for some your family likes. And will you do it dairy free or will you add the cream? Those are all things I'd like to know to see how you like your soup. Also, I promised some more drive-through soup tips, so I thought I would give those to you now before I sign off. Sorry about this lighting. We got glares everywhere and not good enough lighting. Okay, so let's see. For the broth, if you do not feel like making your own from the chicken legs and you want to just buy a rotisserie chicken and use that shredded, or if you have shredded chicken in your freezer already, totally fine. Buy you a few cartons of the chicken stock, or if you have some already made in your freezer, you can use that. That way you don't have to make a flavorful stock. You can just use store-bought. Or if you just have some boneless, skinless chicken breasts in the freezer, throw those in your Instant Pot, pour the store-bought stock over it, season it up with garlic powder, onion powder, salt, throw it, cook the chicken breasts, then shred them, throw them back in, throw your vegetables, your frozen vegetables in, let it heat through, turn it off, add your cream, and you're done. Does save a little bit of time, saves you about 20-30 minutes, probably about 30-35 minutes because you don't have to cook the chicken legs first. That's just what I have on hand, and I like to use what I have on hand. And we have to avoid MSG, so I don't buy a lot of the chicken stock if I can't find the ones that say no MSG. So if that's an easier route for you, it does take less time. Oh, hello little puppy. Sorry, puppy in my lap. Yeah, by all means, buy your stock, buy rotisserie chicken, shred it, throw it in there, done. Simple as that. Really simple, really good, real healthy soup. If you were to use this soup and you use the low-fat chicken breast, skinless, and you use low-fat chicken broth, then this soup would totally fall into probably an FP, honestly, because those noodles are FP, the chicken breast would be FP, and the vegetables are too. So you could probably almost do a serving as an FP. If you wanted to change it to an E, you leave the cream out totally, or you could use a fat-free Greek yogurt, and then you could even put sweet potatoes in with those vegetables. If you wanted higher carb for a Trim Healthy Mama E. So there's just endless possibilities, multiple ways you can fix it for this winter, the cooler months, which here in Arkansas, I don't think it's ever going to get cool. So, what, the first week, almost second week of October, and it's still in the 90s. So yeah, not really good, not cool at all. So we're hoping for fall weather so we can enjoy more soups like this. This soup is a great make-ahead meal. You can also throw it together really quickly if somebody's coming over and you didn't know they were on their way. So super simple, super delicious. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you try the recipe soon. I'll see you guys next time. And thank you so much for all my new subscribers, and I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.